Hi, I'm Jeff Trombetta from the University of New Haven in Connecticut, and today we're going to make a baked sausage and cheese penne pasta casserole. So let's get started. The first thing we do to make this sausage and cheese and penne pasta bake is we're going to put a little olive oil in the pan, and always get your pan hot. And we're going to put some onions in there, and onions is the base. So we have the onions sauteing, and I'm going to put a little celery. Now remember, this is mirepoix. It's aromatic vegetables that give your product, no matter what you're making, soups, casseroles, sauces, depth. So our onions are sauteing. We have our celery. We're going to do a little more olive oil, not too much. This is Napa cabbage. We're going to use a little bit of the stem or the center part and a little bit of the leaf. Now this will wilt down. All these onions, celery, cabbage will wilt down to at least half of what you're seeing now. Instead of ground pepper or fresh cracked black pepper, I add a little bit of jalapeno. Not a lot, and that also gives it freshness. What I'm looking for in this dish is some vegetables. Not only does it give it that little bit of pepper flavor, I don't want this to be a hot dish or a spicy dish. I just want some fresh aromatic. So I'm choosing a fresh hot pepper instead of a black pepper. To help these vegetables wilt, we'll add a little bit of salt, because that'll extract the moisture and help them cook down. We're going to start to add our sausage. Let's get all of it in there. That'll shrink down too. This is just Italian sausage, sliced up, chopped if you will. You could buy this loose. In other words, this is in a casing, and you can buy it loose where it's just not in a link, but I got links and I just cut them up. We're gonna add garlic. There we go. Give this thing a lot of dimension. These are Fiend's herbs. I always like to have fresh herbs. This is a mixture of oregano, sage, and rosemary. So this is browning nicely. We want to give it a good cook. Remember, wilting the vegetables, browning up the sausage, infusing the herbs and the garlic. So this is browning nicely. We want to give it a good cook. Remember, wilting the vegetables, browning up the sausage, infusing the herbs and the garlic. We're going to get a bigger pan because I've decided that I want to mix my pasta in here too. This way it will cook quicker. I'll have room to mix my pasta, and I'm probably going to just bake my casserole right in here. Cooking very nice. Get a nice even cook. What we're going to do now is we're going to start to build up a little bit of sauce. Let some of the sausage cook a little bit more. Add a little bit of tomatoes. It's not going to be a tomato saucy type of thing, but we want to create a little bit of moisture, a little bit of white wine. This is a Riesling. It's got full flavor and it's got some spice to it. It's got good acidity. If it's got some age on it, it could have some body to it. So now we're starting to develop a little bit of sauce there. See how those cabbage and onions and celery are wilted down to practically nothing? Now we're going to add a little bit of tomato sauce. Again, not too much. So the wine is evaporating. Give it a good simmer. Let it cook. Let those flavors marry. Now let's get our pasta in there. We're going to turn it down now so we don't evaporate our sauce too much. We want to get a good mix. And I might have to add a little bit more tomato. Make it a little bit more moist. Cook with all your senses. It's just good cooking is really what it is. Let your senses guide you. Let your nose smell it. See what it needs. Understand what you're putting into it. Take a good visual, make ratio cooking. So I turned up the heat to regain the heat, and you know what? That's gonna help it bake faster. You're gonna save yourself a lot of time. This thing's cooking, and then we're gonna throw it in a hot 400-degree oven, but I just wanna put my fresh grated mozzarella over the top. Now we're just gonna brown the top, and we'll put a little bit of Parmesan on there to help it achieve color, to give it an au gratin, and to kind of seal it all in, right? And that'll also season it. Just to show we have herbs in there and give it some topping, we're gonna put a little bit of that in there. Here it is. I didn't want a lot of au gratin. It's a fresh mozzarella, and so it melts nice, and I want a little bit of brown, but I don't want it dry. It's still bubbling, it's on the heat, So we're going to take it and plate it. We're going to put a piece of Napa cabbage. We're going to put some tomato right there, because it has tomatoes, it has Napa in there, so it's continuity of garnish. Just a little bit of jalapeno. So we have some slices of jalapeno. I might use 2, just so I could kind of layer it there. Contrast off the red. Your tool is very important. I have something sturdy, something flat, something shoveled. I'm going to cut a piece that I think not only is showing good sausage. I want to keep the top exposed. I don't want to bury that. Tuck it in there. Nothing on the wall of the plate. I'm going to put a little extra sausage there. I'm going to get a little bit of juice. And that is our sausage, penne pasta, and cheese bake. So let's taste this sausage and penne pasta cheese bake. Make sure it's everything I hoped it would be. So we get a little pasta, a little cheese, a little sausage. It's moist, it's flavorful. I'm pleased with it. Remember, it's just good cooking. That's all. Let your senses guide you. I'm Chef Jeff Trombetta from the University of New Haven in Connecticut.